Hey, we're live.
Happy Saturday afternoon. Yeah, we're live. Happy Saturday afternoon. Wearing
Yep.
my Texas Chainsaw marshmallows, because it makes me think of Saturday mornings. All right. I don't think there's anybody watching right now. I don't really care too much right now at this moment. We're going to
Nah.
start talking. Got myself a little coffee drink. Haven't drank coffee at all this morning. I've been waiting for the live
Yeah.
stream.
Oh, those things are good, but a lot of sugar in them. Too much for me.
Too much. I barely drink these, but when I was at I don't know if you have that in Ontario, but in Quebec we have a grocery store called Maxi.
No. There might be like an English equivalent or something, but
I think he gets like no frills or something for you guys over
yeah,
there.
we got no frills.
Yeah. So it was like $1.44. I bought two of them. I bought this and I bought the zero sugar, I forget what the flavor it is, but it's purple. And I like that. It's good.
You know why that is, eh? Because I don't know if you've noticed, Health Canada is changing the labels on all the food. They're
Oh, are they
making
now?
it
Huh?
yeah. So all energy drinks are going to have a little black and white little rectangle that says Health Canada, supplements included. And
Okay.
then other stuff, they're going to have like a bigger square on the packaging. There's a magnifying glass. And I've seen three: high in saturated fats, high in sugar, or high in sodium. Everybody's going to have to redesign all packages for any kind of food, snack, or drink in Canada.
Hmm.
And so I don't know what the date is, but it seems like everything's going on sale because they're trying to get rid of it. Um, I got an older can of the Rockstar here, and this has been a big problem for them because you can see the design is white and black.
Yeah, I
So if
see
I
that.
put the white and black little warning on there, it's going to disappear.
Oh.
So they've redesigned all their cans. The sugar-free ones are all now like a solid color. Makes it harder to identify which one you want, but it's because of this new packaging. If they put black and white on this design, you're not going to notice it.
Yeah. Because I mean, just this can right here, just this is like a whole mashup of like brown and like
Hmm.
khaki. So
Yeah, I don't think
I don't
I
know.
have anything with that label on it. Anyways, that's not what this is about.
Let me try something quickly. If it's too loud, I'm gonna try to figure out how to. That's way too loud. I think. Right?
Maybe a little bit.
I don't even know how I can turn that down. Well, I guess we're not gonna go with any music. Trying to have some music in there, but uh, yeah, I guess we don't need music. Who needs music? I did it last time. I was able to turn it down,
Hmm.
and I don't know. I have no clue what's going on, man. Anyways, happy Saturday, Spoonie.
Yeah, and to you, this is a long weekend in Canada. I don't know if
Yes.
is it in the U.S. as well.
I think in the United States it's next weekend. I think they got Memorial Day next weekend.
Okay.
So man, we're gonna live stream for our fellow Canadians.
Yeah, at least.
I'd love to do something for our fellow American friends, obviously, but I mean, plus it's a hot, really hot but gloomy day today where I am. It's really
Yeah, we had it was like 26 yesterday in Ontario Celsius,
yeah.
so that was pretty brutal. Especially since
Oh
like
man.
2 days before it was like 8 degrees.
I don't know it's what I could call bipolar weather. I
Hmm.
think was it my boss said it best the other day at work. He goes said Victoria Day weekend. It's always beautiful the Friday, then it rains Saturday through Monday, and it's nice again on Tuesday.
Yeah.
It's true. It's always the same thing. So Spoonie, like we did last time, I'll ask you: you read anything, watched anything good recently?
Um,
Last stream 2 weeks ago.
I've been stocking up on these DC compact books.
Yeah.
Um, at least the first wave, all from there were about 10 books from last year. There's 14 for this year, and the first one just came out. I think it was the Kingdom Come,
Oh,
the
nice.
Alex Ross and Mark Waid, and
Nice.
then later this month I think is going to be a Batwoman one. It was by Greg Rucka on Detective Comics before New 52. Apparently, it's really good. I don't think I ever read it,
Cool.
but yeah, I'm burning through the first set, and I'll probably do like a little review of all of them, just from the standpoint of like, hey, if you've never read this before, this is kind of what it's about. And I've read most of the stuff. There's a couple in there I have not read, so it's new material for me.
Nice.
But it's sort of reviewing the format more than the actual story, because every story they've picked are like iconic series, like Hush, Watchmen,
Yeah.
Court of Owls by Scott Snyder. They're all like they're kind of some of their biggest, most popular runs, right? So everything in there is pretty good read.
Nice. Nice.
The only thing is the Joker one.
Yeah.
It's the one by Azzarello
Oh
and
yeah.
Bermeo.
Yeah.
It's it's like a third the size out of all the other books, because all the other books are collecting like
Yeah.
12 to 13 issues, and this is an original graphic novel, and it's just,
Yeah.
I don't know, like 200 something pages, and it's the same cover price. But what are you gonna do?
No, I remember reading Joker. It wasn't a horrible story, but yeah, to put it in that kind of format is not.
I
I
I
mean,
guess it was a big story, so
yeah, they did Luther too. I think not a
well, they
couple.
did that one first.
Oh, okay. Luther was first.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought Luther came after Joker. That was the other
No,
way.
they did the Lex Luthor Man of Steel miniseries, and then I
Okay,
think from the strength of that, they teamed up again to do Joker, but they did it as like an original graphic novel.
nice. Hello, Vanessa. Nice to see you. Always joining in on our live
Yay!
streams. So me, since the last 2 weeks, yeah, we went to it was Free Comic Book Day, which yeah, I picked up some books for you, Spoonie, at Free Comic Book Day. Got you that VR Troopers and the Superman you were looking for.
Appreciate
So
it.
hopefully, Canada Post allows it to get to you.
Yeah, who knows what the hell's going on there?
I know, man. I know. Trump is just like itching me, like, look, you don't have no postal service anymore. Come, come, come. But honestly, I started rewatching Boy Meets World, and last
Oh
night I
yeah,
actually started rewatching. Not rewatching. Sorry, I started watching The Tick because I just signed up for Prime Video.
yeah. We were talking about that a little
Yeah,
bit.
it's good. I like it, and I like the actor that they chose to play the Tick. Pretty good. British actor Peter Serafinowicz,
Yeah, Darth
big in
Maul.
England, and he was also in Shaun of the Dead, right?
He's the voice of Darth Maul,
That's right. That's right.
the Menace, Star Wars Episode One.
Yeah,
Different actor. It was Ray Park, but he did the voice.
yeah. So I think they did a really good choice choosing him as the Tick. So I started watching that, and it's like you were saying last night. You know, it's very comic booky. It's a satire, the Tick, right? So the mainstream audience who like the Marvel stuff, like the DC movies, yeah, it's true. You're not really necessarily gonna get the joke behind the Tick, which we
Well, like
appreciate it, right?
the fact that American Made is Wonder Woman. Um, Deflator Mouse is actually German for the bat,
That's
and it's
right.
very obviously a Batman parody, only, without all the cool attributes and bravery and
Yeah.
stuff. I like the original live action one. I didn't think it was that bad with was it Patrick Warburton?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think I've ever watched that show, The Tick.
It was decent. It was decent. Like, I guess for the time, trying to adapt. I think they were basing it off like the cartoon. Sorry,
Oh,
in
yeah.
terms of the sort of feel they wanted it to have. Obviously, though, live action, you're not going to get a guy with a chair for a head writing his name on the moon.
Exactly. It'd be a little hard to get. Was it Dinosaur Neil in there too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. I know you were saying that you want to like maybe try to watch a movie together that we've never watched and discuss it. Have you ever seen the movie Buckaroo Banzai?
In
Was
the
it
sixth
across the?
dimension or fifth dimension, I
Yeah, have you
actually
ever
have
seen this
not.
movie? No.
No, I've heard about it. I know it's supposed to be one of these like 80s cult classics.
Yeah,
Never seen
exactly.
it though.
It's so I've never seen it either. Okay, I used to every time it used to be on. What was it? We used to have it here in Canada. Was it? Was it the Sci-Fi Channel that we had too? I think at one point.
No, we had Space.
Space. There we go. Every time it was on Space, okay, I was like, oh, Buckaroo Banzai. I see the credits. You got Jeff Goldblum in it, Peter Weller. I'm a huge RoboCop fan. So every time I go to tune in on Space to check out Buckaroo Banzai, I always get here. Hang on a second here. Let me share my screen. I always get to this, and so I never know what the movie's about. But you see my screen? Go ahead.
Yeah.
It's the most.
I think the suit is iconic if you know about it.
Yeah.
Like there was a reference to it in that Ready Player One, where he
That's
shows
true,
up
huh?
on the date at the club with that girl for the first time, and he's dressed in the suit, and she obviously catches the reference, which means she's a geek girl. The hell am I watching?
Right? Every time I logged into, like, every time I tuned into Space, it was always the ending, and I was like, they're just walking and skipping along, and like, I really think Spoonie, this is a movie. I mean, it gets crazier and crazier. This is the best, though. This is the best right here. Just wait for it. And that cowboy is Jeff Goldblum, by the way.
Is there some 3D effect or something?
I thought, no wait, I thought they turned around. That's my bad. I'm making you wait for nothing, but okay. But normally, like, yeah, that's what I get to, man. Every time I was tuning into Space.
No, what I remember from Space was like they'd run those like Godzilla movie marathons or Planet of the Apes. I think they did on New Year's usually. And then Conspiracy Guy. Do you remember the Conspiracy Guy?
Conspiracy? No, I don't think so.
No, it was this guy who did like little 5-minute segments, like I think during the commercials or in between shows. And he'd be this guy, he was in like downtown Toronto, and he was just like filming himself ranting about some kind of conspiracy. I don't remember anything he talked about. I just kind of remember the vibe of it. I'm sure we could find it online.
Probably. Okay. You know what? And that's the great thing is that, we're not going to wait another year now to go live stream again. This is like the cool thing is that I think did we settle on a name yet? Or are we just going to go live? We're going to call this Two Geeks Live?
Yeah, for now.
Yeah, I think Two Geeks Live is pretty fun.
I think it works.
Yeah. I mean, like, I've been sitting on this thumbnail that you guys can see, or whoever's watching, or if you're watching the replay, we've been sitting on this thumbnail for like a year now, and for some reason we can never figure out how to go live. And we're like, StreamYard, it costs if you want to do stuff, but it's so simple. So simple.
Yeah, well, it seems like that's what a lot of people use.
Yeah.
I'm guessing they're just using the paid version or premium version, whatever.
But yeah, I think so. Honestly, like, I think it's like I've seen like it's the tiers are like $35 a year or $35 a month or 60 something a month, depending on what you want to do. And look, you and I do not monetize off of our YouTube channels.
No.
And we have enough going on in our lives that we don't need to start spending extra money. So using this basic StreamYard to go live, for me at least, that's good enough for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you have premium YouTube, and I make videos constantly. I don't even have premium YouTube, man.
I have it because my wife has it, and so we signed up for the family plan. So for an extra couple bucks, I can get it too. So
makes sense. Well, speaking of family plan, I just treated myself and Vanessa last night.
Oh yeah.
We had to update our Nintendo Switch Online plan,
and
normally we go with the regular plan, but I was like, you know what? I did the expansion pack, so try that out for this year.
I don't know much about the Switch hardware.
Honestly, when you have Switch Online, you got the Nintendo, the regular NES games, you got Super Nintendo games, and you got Game Boy. with the expansion pack. Oh, plus you have Tetris 99 that you can download as well.
Oh, I hear that's fun.
Vanessa plays it all the time. She loves it. There's a Maximus Cup like every month or 2 months, and she plays it every month and loves it. But with the expansion pack, now you get F-Zero 99. So it's F-Zero from the Super NES.
Yeah.
So basically, the 99s are like you're playing against it's like a battle royale. You're playing against a whole bunch of people online.
Yeah.
So we're gonna try F-Zero, and as well with the expansion pack, you get the Sega Genesis, you
Nice.
get Game Boy Advance, and then you get two versions of the Nintendo 64. So you got the regular Nintendo 64 that has games for rated E to teen, like everyone to teen, and then you have the 17 plus N64, which only has 4 games. I think I checked. It's Shadow Man,
Mm-hmm.
Perfect Dark,
Okay.
and I think both Turok games.
There was more than that on the system.
There was more mature games, yeah, but for now I think there's only those 4 on the 17 plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you got Conker's Bad Fur Day. I can't speak apparently. Conker's Bad Fur Day, which was a mature game also. So, and I thought that
Yeah.
was going to be on there, but it's not.
Probably just licensing rights.
Probably.
As they clear that stuff up, it'll happen.
Exactly. I'm no longer a fan of WWE, but hey, I love, don't get me wrong, WWF No Mercy and WrestleMania 2000. Those, I played the crap out of those games on the Nintendo 64.
Well, I think what it went WCW NWO World Tour,
Yeah.
and then they got the WWF license at the time.
Yeah.
Before you got the F out. And yeah, what was it? It was WrestleMania 2000 or something.
Yeah.
Amazing game. I haven't really played much wrestling games since then.
No,
But
they were the
that
king
was
of
like
pop.
near peak for me.
Yeah. Well, it was WCW NWO World Tour,
And then Revenge.
NWO Revenge, which
Right.
masterpiece. That's a masterpiece.
I
And
remember
think
the
too,
first one sucked because you could only save if you had that memory cartridge thing you jammed in the back of the controller. I like that on Revenge. You could actually save on the cartridge. They had a little battery backup there.
That's cool. I think that's what kind of revolutionized a lot of wrestling games, how we look at them today in general. But yeah, then THQ, I don't know if they lost the license to WCW or if they inked a deal with WWF. And so, yeah, they put out WrestleMania 2000, like you said, amazing game. But then No Mercy came out and even like built upon even more on WrestleMania 2000. So to me, the WCW and WWF games from the Nintendo 64 are the cream of the crop of wrestling games. And a lot of people give AEW Fight Forever a lot of shit, and people bash that game into the ground. I don't mind it. I don't play it a lot either because it's not the best wrestling game. It's trying its best to do like those games on the Nintendo 64. Right. Is it revolutionary? No. But are the WWE 2K games revolutionary? No. I keep hearing nothing but like, oh, there's glitches and so I know no wrestling game is ever going to be. Hey, honestly, sorry?
I was going to say, if it scratches that itch and has a relatively reasonable or recent roster, or at least a create a fighter option, it should be fine.
Exactly. So Fight Forever, it's fun. I mean, I think AEW has abandoned the game now.
Well, that means there's probably a sequel in the works then.
Probably.
Abandoned development on the first one. Stopped supporting it, doing major updates, so they're focusing all their attention into the next one.
Yeah, probably. So sidetracked from there. I think I don't know if you want. I mean, like I said, I'm down for your recommendations, but I think watching Buckaroo Banzai would be a really fun idea.
I've been meaning to watch that one, so this would be a great opportunity.
I feel like I see somebody keeps like, we have one viewer right now. I keep seeing a second viewer jump in, and it's like, are they talking shit about the companies yet? No, I don't want to hear about Buckaroo Banzai. Don't worry.
Well, it's an older property from the 80s. It ties into the theme of nostalgia and other things like that.
Basically. Okay. I mean, I guess we can get right into it. I mean, I'm free today until 3 o'clock, so we're live streaming until three about so three maybe even like a little longer 3:15 maybe
We'll
because
see.
it's a topic that like even you Spoonie who doesn't collect too many collectibles even when it comes to comic books and graphic novels I feel like you kind of feel the same way too that prices are becoming bullshit I find on these kind of things
Hmm.
like okay so I want to open up something like I still love to collect physical media right
Yeah.
I love DVDs on the Blu-rays okay and Vanessa got me yeah I've shown them off on the channel. So Vanessa did get me the. Don't worry, I'm not just showing shit off. I have a reason why I'm talking about this. She did get me the Criterion collection of the entire Showa era of Godzilla, and then for Christmas this year she did get me the. I don't know how it goes this way. I think the Gamera collection from Arrow Video. Now, this to me is an example of. I don't like saying this, but it's an example of an acceptable way ploy to charge top dollar to charge a lot for something because when it comes to Blu-rays it's not just the fact that you're printing the discs and you're making the sets but you're also going out of your way to clean up some of the films. You're going out of your way to add special features, sometimes trying to get, if you can in these kind of cases, excuse me, cast members, producers, things like that in the special features. So they're shelling out a lot of money on their end to
Hmm.
make these collectors items. So I think that this is a good example. I'm not going to talk prices. If you want to see prices on these things, yeah, it's you can go check them out. These are not things I'm just going to willy nilly buy every single day. But I find this is a good example of this is something you should be paying top dollar for because like I mentioned, they're going out of their way to make these discs. They're going out of their way to make the set
Hmm.
levels and add those special features, clean up stuff. So it makes sense. But action figures, comic books now, like
Here's the thing with the action figures, because you've shown me like the what is it, the Super 7 and the NECA and all that,
I was gonna bring that up. Yeah.
the classic turtles.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand because they got like the original molds or whatever, they tried to make it as accurate to the original figures as possible.
Yeah.
So that could cost money tracking down, obtaining these molds or whatever. But the thing is, there's no reason they need to sell it as a collector's item. I'm pretty sure if you put them on Walmart shelves, today's kids would want to buy them too because they
Oh
look
yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, a little side note. Apparently, there's a bunch of how can I say this without people, watching the replay after and being like, why are you saying shit like that, Boomer? There's a lot of Karens out there
Mm,
who are seeing the NECA Sesame Street Ultimate figures on the shelves, and they are like calling for a ban on them because, look, the Sesame Street figures by NECA are made for adults who grew up with those toys. Okay,
mm,
again, I'm not gonna lie, the pricing on them are not amazing. I don't like the pricings, but they're calling to remove them from the shelf because of the interchangeable parts, all the little accessories, all the little hands that come with them. But NECA never states this is made for kids. It always states that it is an adult collectible.
yeah. Give me a sec. My cat's getting in some kind of trouble here. Hold on.
No problem, no problem. I'm shaking my camera. Just gonna wait for Spoonie to come back. If there's anybody watching. No, we got 0 viewers now. I
All
still
right.
don't know
Sorry about
how.
that.
No worries. I still don't know how these people on YouTube who do like what you and I do get all these like chunks of subscribers.
I think consistency is important. Like some of these people, they're going live like 5, 6 days a week for like 2 to 6 hours every night.
That's fair.
And it's the subject matter too. I mean, I think it's really easy to chase views, but just being super negative on the internet.
Yeah.
Just be like, oh, look what this celebrity said. They're stupid. Come join our live stream while we make fun of them for an hour.
That's a topic that I wanted to touch on in a later video, but like go on that. Like one thing that really pisses me off is when Angry Video Game Nerd releases videos, or basically James Rolfe goes on and says, "Hey, Rex Viper is here. We're putting out new music videos," and then people in the comments live for that shit just to like be like, "Who gives a fuck, man? I don't care. I don't give a shit." Like the gamer subs that not the gamer. No, sorry, I did a video of gamer subs a couple of years ago. I was thinking of the G Fuel you sent me. I did a video on gamer subs like a couple of years ago that I got for free off of a code from Stephen He.
Nice.
And just the other day, I see this guy comment, "Who gives a fuck?" And I just reply, "I'm so savage." I replied him, "Thanks for the view."
Yeah.
I don't give a shit, man. Like, I'm not here to, I'm not here to be negative. But if you're gonna be negative to me, I'm gonna be like, "But thank you for watching my video."
Hey, if it YouTube likes it when people engage. So if he wants to leave a comment, even if it's negative like that, I mean, who
Exactly.
cares? Clearly, the video made him feel strong enough to leave a comment.
Yeah,
So there you go. You should take that as a sign of a good video.
exactly. But like all the subreddits on James Rolfe and Angry Video Game Nerd, like, oh Bimmy, he's no time for my kid. Bro, you are creating a whole subreddit dedicated to James Rolfe, Angry Video Game Nerd, living rent
Yep.
free in your head. All you're doing is giving him free advertisement. Like,
I think a lot of Reddit is a waste of time. I say this
yeah,
as somebody who spent a lot of time on Reddit up until without getting all like political and whatever. It was just before that Mulan movie came out, the live
oh
action
yeah,
one a couple years ago, due to where they filmed it and stuff
yeah,
like that. And also another reason too is because I mean that was the last straw, but also I was having these weird moments where I'm like chatting and somebody's responding and I'm like, what are you, stupid? And I find
yeah.
out like, no, they're 13. And I'm like, this feels really weird. Like I'm in my 30s. I don't want to be interacting with like a 13-year-old. I mean,
No.
one, it's kind of creepy. Two, like it's different stages of life. They don't have the experience or perspective, and that doesn't mean they don't make good points, but I don't want to get into it with a kid.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like you said, we're in our 30s. The life experience is different with a 30 something, 30 plus year old and a 13-year-old. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
huge.
Like a 13-year-old will look at that collectible and say, "Ew, I want to play Fortnite." Us are gonna be like, "I want to buy that collectible. I don't care."
Hmm.
Because nostalgia is, let's be honest here. And that's what I was telling Vanessa last night when we watched the new Angry Video Game Nerd episode. It was becoming a point where like his videos always get millions of views. Like they're always
Of
one
course.
point something. But now it's like it's getting to the point where he's doing some throwbacks in his videos. So because we're such nostalgia whores,
Hmm.
what's old is becoming new again, and what was sour is becoming fresh again. So it's like he's found a whole new way after 20 years of doing this character. Of He didn't even reinvent himself, but he found a new way to connect with his audiences, and so that's why I
Okay.
say nostalgia fucking sells, man.
Well,
He was
I,
doing
I,
nostalgia at first on video games. Now he's doing nostalgia on his old videos. Think about
well,
that, man.
no, see, I don't watch enough of his content, only if there's like a specific game or something that
Mhm.
I'm interested in, but I'm not like a regular viewer.
Oh, I love the nerd. I could sit here and talk to you all day about the nerd, but that's not really what we're talking about today.
Well, this last week I've kind of fallen down this rabbit hole of a lot of these YouTubers that do Kickstart, Indiegogo crowdfunding for their
Okay.
self-published comic books.
Oh, okay.
And
Cool.
I mean, I don't want to name names because I don't want to attract negativity over here. The whole thing is just fascinating. There's years worth of Twitter DMs being leaked between two people, and it's just a
Is it
mess.
Ripaverse? Is that what you're talking about, Ripaverse?
It's associated with the
Yeah, that's what
Rippaverse,
I
yeah.
thought.
Yeah, not
Mm.
not Eric July, not Ripa himself, but just an affiliation, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's just insane how petty these grown men are acting. And it's like, in general, what happened to the YouTube landscape? When did the biggest drama channels start getting run by men? Heterosexual, straight men.
I know, right?
I'm seeing more celebrity gossip from straight dudes than I am from women. Now, maybe that's because their algorithm is identifying I'd rather watch a man than a woman, but still, there shouldn't be this many of them.
Should we start the new hashtag? Hashtag straight white men be bitches.
No, because somebody's going to get offended over that.
Yeah, exactly. I redact that. I redact that. I was making a joke, guys. I was making a
It's
joke.
always a joke. Oh, in Minecraft, you got to add in Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
You know about that meme?
No, I
That
don't.
guy,
The only thing about
that guy
Minecraft I
made
only
like a
know is South
thread.
Park.
He's like, "I'm gonna kill you and your family," and then he added another text in Minecraft. So it was like, it wasn't a thread. I was talking about killing this character in Minecraft.
That's how you protect yourself.
Yeah, it's you're talking about a video game here.
Yeah, that's it. I ran over her. I buried her body in Minecraft. In
Mm.
Minecraft, you
Oh, of
know?
course. No, we are playing GTA Online.
Exactly. Oh man. Uh, but yeah, man. So I don't know. I feel like when it comes to older comic books and older action figures, like here's the question I'm going to ask you because we can both agree. I already got e-collectibles and GameStop on the site, which is rebranding back to EB Games apparently.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Okay.
and e-collectibles, I'm not ragging on them. They're a fantastic website. They just have to put the prices that they that are recommended, right? But they're a great company. They're a local Canadian company, but I like to use them because they have a lot of Super 7, right? So we both agree that when it comes to action figures, modern action figures, it doesn't make sense to charge some of those prices. And we'll take a look at some of those prices in a moment. But on the other side of the spectrum, when you're going back to nostalgia, to the comic books from the 80s, this like basically the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, even the 2000s, for example, or those toys, do you think that those that have high price tags, even if they're rare, or for example, the graded comic books, which I personally I don't care about graded comic books. There's a lot of people
Yeah.
that go crazy for that shit. But grading a key comic book and charging through the roof, or those graphic novels that are first prints that you can't find anymore, even some DVDs like complete series or movies that are out of print or VHS
Yeah,
tapes.
that's the worst.
Yeah. Do you think that those price tags are validated on that?
No,
Not even,
absolutely,
huh?
absolutely not. Um, okay, coming from the comic book perspective, I can understand like if they put something new out and it costs more, and you're like, they've published this plenty times in the past. With um, I heard in 2005, whoever the Dave Gibbons was the artist, whoever the original colorist for Watchmen was,
Okay.
when DC put out their huge oversized absolute edition, they brought that colorist back and he redid all the colors with like modern coloring techniques and stuff. And
Okay.
so going forward, that's the version that was printed. So the DC Compact Comics apparently is using that new printing, that new
John
coloring
Higgins.
job. John Higgins or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, that's what it says. John Higgins.
Yeah, so he recolored the comic in 2005. All
Okay.
newer versions feature this recolor. But I mean, the fact is, they weren't just reprinting it, they were doing extra work, they were enhancing
Yeah.
it in some ways. So I can understand justifying maybe it costs a little bit more than the standard printing of Watchmen. Um, but I would expect that to sort of even out after a certain amount of time.
You would think, right? But I guess it's one of those things where has it gone up in price in recent times, or is it just out of print?
Oh, I don't know. We're talking Watchmen. It's been printed in so many different formats, basically since it came out. It's my understanding it's one of their evergreen titles.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay.
these are books that Marvel and DC will always keep in print. Like they're always going to keep the first volume of the or the first couple of the Claremont John Byrne
Mhm.
Uncanny X-Men. Their Batman Hush is always going to keep in print.
Yeah.
Watchmen is always going to be in print. The first couple volumes of Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, including Amazing Fantasy number 15,
Yeah.
like classic stories, they're always going to be in print. If they run, they don't go out of print more as they go out of stock because you can
Okay.
order it and eventually a new run will come out.
Okay. Yeah. Like Watchmen, I mean, yeah, you could
Yeah,
just,
but again, this is just talking about the coloring, the
yeah,
fact that they updated it to justify increasing the price.
yeah. That's, yeah, that I don't know, man. It's like it's like IDW with Turtles, taking that and turning into the color classics. Already you're selling the original original black and white versions in volumes. Those got like a $35-$40 price tag.
Hmm.
But then you're reselling the colorized versions and you're selling at the same price, maybe a little bit more. It's like, don't you think you should compromise or something? Turtles was never meant to be in color. It was
Yeah.
always black and white, you know? So I don't know what you're doing taking the time to colorize this stuff. One of the biggest things that pisses sound like I'm complaining, like a little man. That pisses me off. One thing I don't like, because I think I'm a Masters of the Universe fan, right?
Yeah.
It's consistently trying to find this set right here, the 30th anniversary set, which right now they're saying low price for $192. So I click on it, but it's like I'm constantly seeing this price and this price and this price. It's like it's the 30th anniversary. So this was released in 2014. I think it's out of print. But come on, why are you selling this for $700? What
Wow.
in your right mind is making you want to sell this for $700?
Well, that's the listing price. If you go look
Right.
those up and you're on there, on the left side, if you scroll down, you
Yeah.
can sort by like completed sales. Down there,
Um,
price down, down, down.
I'm completely at the bottom.
Okay, maybe go up a little bit. Price. Huh.
I mean, but again, like I'm putting Motu Complete Series DVD 30th, right? Which AI algorithm should know.
Oh, sorry. You're on Google Shopping. I thought you were on eBay for a second.
Oh, no, no, no. I'm on Google. Yeah, yeah, exactly. This
No,
just gives it.
because if you go on eBay, they show like who cares what the listing price is? There's a way you can filter by actually completed sales. So
So I
people could be listing it as $1,000, but if you go look at the sales of actually the auctions won and the sales that have closed, they're all selling for like 20, $30. So you can ask for whatever you want, but realistically, if you look at what's been sold, you can see kind of the going price for it.
it's like if I come down here, I know there's eBay.com on top of it. If I come down here, I'm sure if I could find, I find it down here. Sold items. Is that what you're looking? Or one of this too? I don't know. That's just giving me other stuff. But yeah, regardless though, it doesn't make sense to me. You know, am I still? No, I stopped presenting. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me to kind of charge those kind of things. You know what I mean? Like, Action figures, like, I don't know, man. I look, I look for action figures because that's my, I love my comic books. I prefer buying comic books over action figures, but action figures are a big part of who I am. And what I find ridiculous is some of the Turtles figures that are carded, some of the Power Rangers figures that are still in box.
Yeah.
It's disgusting how much some of these things go for. You know, I've seen a YouTuber, Pixel Dan, who's a huge Motu fan, buy a Scareglow mint on card a couple of years ago, and he paid like $600 for it. Recently, he bought the T Rex from the old Dino Riders line,
Oh yeah.
incomplete, for $500. I'm like, finding a Black Star, an obscure Black Star, an obscure cartoon from the 1980s. The castle is just like a flimsy plastic sheet, incomplete. Again, paying $500 for just that piece of plastic because it's rare. I'm like, where in when like did it happen where not just companies today producing new toys, but even like resellers are like, haha, let's capitalize on nostalgia. When did that start happening?
Well, it's worth whatever people are willing to pay. Maybe, you price it at some point, nobody buys, you knock it down and you knock it down till you get to a price point where people want it, and then you're like, okay, this is kind of what people are willing to spend. I mean, these companies, they all use marketing firms that have like psychologists and behavioral therapists that they employ to, study the market, try to learn more about their audience, what motivates them, what's
Yeah,
important to them,
yeah.
and they can use that to help determine how to market it, what price point to sell it at, what.
And you know what the crazy thing is, Spoonie? The crazy thing is that 3 years ago, was it 3 years ago now? 2 years ago on my birthday, I bought the Movie Maniacs T800, which I think is one of the
Right?
more rarer items. And I spent like $60 on that thing. 60,
That's not bad.
67. No, that's it. In my head, I was like, spending a lot of money on this thing, bro.
Well, compared to what it cost when it came out, yeah.
Yeah, but compared to some of the other stuff out there, man, I'm like, that's peanuts. I
Hmm.
spent peanuts on this thing, man. Like,
What's that G1 Transformer? I forget his name. It's that huge guy and he turns into a base.
I know you're talking about. Is it is it Metroplex?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I can't
that. Yeah.
imagine how much that would go for now. Probably at least $1,000 or something.
You don't want to get into collecting old Transformers, man. Old
No,
Transformers, old GI Joes that are still carded, still in box, complete.
especially when there was still die-cast metal in there,
Mhm.
where that
One,
Megatron one actually looked like a gun.
yeah,
Then
yeah,
they had to redesign them for future versions because it looked too much like a real gun.
and that's what I'm trying to see. That Megatron, that original gun Megatron goes for like a pretty price. I think that he's on the list of like one of the more expensive toys, which is ridiculous, man. If we take a look, I'm searching here. I'm still on Google. I'm just trying to get shot like yeah. Look at that. Look at this. Let me show you this. Again, I don't know how accurate or valid that is, but look at that. Look at that price. This is Canadian on top of it.
Woof.
And that's the Japanese version. So can you imagine, dude?
So you're saying for a price of a Nintendo Switch 2 and Mario Kart World, I could get an original G1 Megatron?
Basically, man.
Man, that's
Like
kind of in the
700.
realm of nostalgia because Nintendo definitely, even though they put out tons of new games, they capture that feeling, that nostalgic feeling. But this
Yeah.
Nintendo Switch 2 pricing thing has gone nuts. Now everybody's raising their prices, eh? So like
Oh
2 weeks
yeah.
after that happened, Microsoft announced that Xbox is going to go up $100 in price. This hardware came out in 2020. Show me any technology that gets more expensive over time. It doesn't happen.
I
And
know,
then
right?
the PlayStation 5 Pro, which
Oof.
was their sort of mid-generation upgrade before they do the full PlayStation 6. I heard that's going up to like 800, 900 American. So that's going to be with taxes and stuff. We're paying like $1,200 in Canada.
Yeah.
Like just save another couple $100, get a laptop.
Mm-hmm.
Get a an efficient desktop PC. Gets like
Yeah.
all these companies are releasing all their games on PC anyways. They realize they can't make enough money if they just keep it locked to PlayStation. So Sony started putting out God of War and Spider-Man and all their other big exclusive hits. They're all coming out on Steam now.
And I think to be quite honest with you, I got a Steam account and I keep seeing that, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Evil Dead keeps going down in price. And I kind of feel like it's probably better nowadays to get certain things on Steam, right?
If you are, I should mention, if you are interested in the Evil Dead, you're going to want to act on that soon. I believe they have already announced a delisting and
Oh,
closure
okay.
of the game. So I don't know if it's by the end of this month or within the next several weeks, the game will be no longer available to purchase. Obviously, if you bought the title, you can download it and play it whenever you want.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're ending support and they're pulling the game for sales. Usually, this happens because the copyright for the Evil Dead property is expiring, and so
Oh,
they could
okay.
choose to renew it or let it lapse. And
Okay.
unless this game was big enough or they were working on a sequel, I think that's why they're just letting it go. I know Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that game, that was the one that came. It's the same studio, I'm pretty sure, that did the Friday the 13th game,
Yeah,
which had a
done.
very similar play style.
Yeah,
What happened was sort of after that game ran its course, and I think they lost the IP, then they just switched over to Texas Chainsaw.
yeah, exactly. And the thing that kind of sucks is that they released it for. I mean, they released it. Yeah, not necessarily sucks. They released it for Xbox, PlayStation, and Steam, but it never made its way to Nintendo. And Friday the 13th did, which I kind of
Hmm.
find don't exclude. And that's another thing that I can't stand is to bring me to another thing of nostalgia. Right? You got Target in the United States, Holothon. I feel like people are gonna watch it and be like, I thought you guys were talking about how prices are validated, not complaining about shit. It's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
basically the same thing.
Well, it all ties together.
Yeah. Target has Holothon in the United States. Here I was. I looked at Vanessa. I'm like, you know what? I know what I want for my birthday this year. I want to buy myself the NECA Ultimate Pee Wee Herman.
Okay.
No, dude. It's an exclusive to Target first, and it's gonna go to all stores afterwards. It was like the fucking Jack Kirby figure from Ninja Turtles last year on Free Comic Book Day. I was like, oh, if I find that today, I'm buying it. Oh, I found out it's a Target exclusive.
Ugh.
It took closer to the holidays for it to come here to Canada.
Unless you want to unless you want to pay scalper prices online.
And I don't want to do that. I don't think anybody should have to do that, man. I think that's rotten. Like even on the Kiss online shop, that's something that bothers me is that they keep putting a thing saying limit of 6 per customer because when it came to the Psycho Circus merchandise, that's all I wanted, man. That shit that I wanted went so fast originally. And then people were selling it on the aftermarket for like triple the price. I'm like, this is bullshit, bro. I get it. It's nostalgic. Psycho Circus is what a lot of us in our 30s came to know Kiss with, especially with the
Yeah.
comic books. So we're super nostalgic for Psycho Circus, but don't rip us off on our nostalgia because of that. Let me show you something. I went to Value Village 2 years ago.
Okay.
I gotta show you this. There's a video on my channel. Okay.
That's kind of like a thrift shop if you don't have one near you or if they don't exist in the States.
Exactly. It's kind of like a Goodwill. Big Lots, I think, is another one in the United States as well. Yeah. Like, okay, this is just a toy store, toy portion. So
Look at that tape
So
player.
these are the like VHSs in the front.
That's neat.
But like, so look at some of the prices on these
These
things.
are
Okay,
so neat.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
This old time
there's
radio.
something I want to bring to attention.
A
Okay,
whole
because
bunch of
Vanessa was
show
eyeing
tapes.
something.
These are now what you call collectible items, basically.
Yeah.
These, check out your blister case like these. These might be worth things.
So
Oh, cool.
I don't want to skip
We
too
got
far
two
because I don't remember.
more.
So yeah, I picked up that Day of the Dead, but like, look at the
Nice.
price tag on it.
Power Rangers Turbo.
What was it?
$10. And look at that Sailor Moon. Do you see the
Well,
price on that?
Back here you got the Star Wars trilogy.
Look at this.
is that a
$100.
DVD at least?
That's a DVD, dude.
Okay.
$100. At first, when Vanessa pulled that out, she was like, "Oh, it's $10." I was ready to buy that for her. It's like, cool, yeah, no problem. $10. She loves Sailor Moon. Like when it comes to anime, there's a lot of anime that she loves, but she always keeps coming back to Sailor Moon. Like, okay, cool, yeah, why not? And then I was like, and then she pulled it out, and she was like, "Oh no, it's $100."
Yeah. Now, is that looks like Japanese packaging? Was that an import?
I'm not sure, to be quite honest with you. I don't know. But I think when we looked on the back of it, it did say that it was dubbed and subbed in English. So you have
Okay,
those options
so
up here.
did you know that there are two dubbings for
Yeah.
English Sailor Moon?
Yep, there's the deep
Um,
version and I think the Viz Media, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, I understand that one is better,
The
but
deep
I know a lot of us probably got exposed to the Deke version on
yeah,
YTV or wherever you saw it.
yeah,
Um,
YTV Red.
so I don't really care, but I can see why there are people that might want the original version. And so I think they're just exploiting that. They're like, hey, people will pay this price for it. Why not?
Yeah. And
And
that,
if it sits there a couple weeks and doesn't move, they can always just knock the price down.
yeah. And the crazy thing is when we came, so we went on eBay afterwards and it was not even that price on eBay. It was like cheaper. And we asked the guy who was the manager of the store, I'm like, you guys are Value Village. You're supposed to cater to people who can't really afford too much stuff in other stores, right? That's what they come here for. He's like, well, we kind of cater to the thrifters, and we're basically doing eBay prices.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one of the bigger ones in my area. My wife said she was nearby, so she decided she was gonna run in, and they weren't open yet, and there was a line of about 5 people waiting outside to get in. I think these people every morning they rush the store when it first opens. They look for anything valuable. They take it home and they sell it on eBay or on their Amazon store.
Yep.
I mean, I don't fault them. There's some great stuff in there at some great prices. I will say they do seem to be getting better aware of the value of what they're sitting on.
Yeah, but then I go into a store like Renaissance, which is a Quebecois version of Value Village, and these VHSs that you're looking at, like I don't know, I picked up Jungle Book on VHS at the Renaissance, and that was $1. These VHSs that they were selling here were all in between like $10 to $15, man.
No, 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 no. Too high.
Way too high, way too high. And when I see some of those people thrifting, like going to swap meets or going to toy shows, I'm like, oh, I found the VHS. It was like $5. It was $10. I'm like, I don't care how rare that VHS is, bro. Something like this, I don't. A DVD, bro, a VHS should not be more than at least $5. At least $5. You know what I
Also,
mean?
like a DVD, you can easily tell if the disc has problems, if it has that disc rot, or if
Yeah,
it's cracked or scratched or whatever. A VHS, you would really need to get them to pull out a TV and VCR and play it for you to show
exactly.
the quality of the tape. I mean, if it's been viewed a million times and it's worn down and the picture looks like you're buying something essentially for the packaging because you don't know that the tape inside is any good.
No,
It
that's
could have
it.
been it could have been demagnetized over the
Yeah.
years and now it's just a blank tape.
Yeah. I mean, luckily for me, myself, and my collection, I'm not buying VHSs to watch them. I'm
No,
keeping them
no.
as part of my collection.
I mean, there's easier ways to get a lot of this stuff.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. And I mean, I bought Field of Dreams on VHS, but that wasn't even like oh, I'm buying this for myself. It was more like, oh, this was one of my mom's favorite movies of all time. So, the next VHS set that I'm inclined to want to find myself is the Rocky collection, the original Rockies 1 to 5 on VHS. I
Hmm.
remember my mom having that collection, and I was like, man. And I asked my father when I went to go visit him, you still have that? No. All right, so I'm going to try and seek that out. But that's really because my mom and I, before she left, like before she passed on, we bonded over Rocky, and like it's a sentimental thing. That's why for
Hmm.
me. But that's not sentimental at this point, when you're doing this. This is like I'm just trying to like rip people off and make money. And this is fucking Value Village, man.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what
their
I mean?
prices are getting bad.
Oh, dude, like, so yeah, and I don't know, man. I have to bring it up again. I have to, because I feel like we talk about it all the time. And just your reaction last time, Spoony, when I showed you the Thundercats. So that's another thing. Thundercats, the original LJN figures,
Hmm.
you don't even want to know how ridiculous in price those are. Same thing with the Voltron figures back in the 80s, man.
I know the original Voltron that had some metal in it too, didn't it?
I
Or was it
think
just
so.
like chrome painted plastic?
I think there might have been some diecast in there, but Voltron, if I'm not mistaken, maybe they weren't. I think at some point
Maybe
they were,
maybe it
but
was like GI Joe where it was just some of the joints had like metal
yeah.
balls or whatever.
Well, GI Joe was more the O-ring style,
Well, they
but
had that elastic in the waist, right?
yeah, exactly.
But for I think for like the shoulders and the knees, there were like little screws or something.
I think so, yeah. But Voltron, Thundercats, Advanced D&D, all those figure lines were pretty much done by LJN. Maybe Voltron not at first, I think later on, but they were all done by LJN. And every time people seek out LJN toys, they make the worst, shittiest games from our childhood. But the toys that they produced are always like some of the most rare, some of the most high valuable collectible pieces. And it's makes no sense because LJN's toys were just as bad as LJN's video games.
Hey, Wolverine was okay.
Okay, you want to have your life drained every time you use your claws? Be my
Yeah, no,
guest.
that was dumb. That really made no sense. I
No,
mean, if anything, standing still, you should get your health back. But
yeah, yeah, yeah. Speaking of, we finally got around to playing Marvel versus Capcom collection the other night.
okay, which
It was
ones did
fun.
you play?
Well, we went through all of them. Like it had Capcom versus Marvel superheroes. There was X-Men versus Street Fighter, X-Men Children of the Atom, and then all three. No, was it three or two Marvel versus Capcoms? And then finally there was the Punisher arcade game from Capcom.
Yeah, I've never was that one only in Japan or because I don't ever remember seeing that in North America.
It was
Like
in
I
North
saw
America.
pictures, but
Yeah, well, it was in North America, but the thing with Punisher is that the only way you could play Punisher was either in the arcades or they ported it to the Sega Genesis, if I'm not mistaken.
okay, because I do remember seeing a Punisher game, I think on Sega, so I
Yeah,
didn't realize that's what it was.
yeah. And I've played both the Sega Genesis version and the arcade. Like we played the whole way through for the arcade game the other night. It's apples and oranges. There's only one difficulty on Capcom's on the arcade version, and with the Sega Genesis version, you can choose the difficulty. But if you finish the game on the easiest, it mocks you and it tells you to restart the game. It's hilarious. I love it. But
Play
yeah,
the game as it's meant to be played.
exactly. The boss at the end though, with the arcade game is the Kingpin, and he wasn't as difficult as I thought he was gonna be. So
Well, unless he has a gun as well, I don't see how he's going to stop the Punisher.
no, he shoots lasers out of his cane.
Okay,
You know
that's possible.
exactly. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm trying to understand the logistics. I get that Super 7 is based out of Los Angeles. Okay, and you some of these prices you're thinking to yourself like, oh, that's not too. No, these are the reaction figures, the little O-ring style figures.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are you charging $27? Like again, eCollectibles is a fabulous website. Their customer service is great and they're doing really well. But and again, they're inclined to charge the prices that Super 7 is asking to charge. But why would you want to spend like almost $30 on a little O-ring figure? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
I,
mean,
I
maybe if it was Sergeant Slaughter, maybe.
yeah,
But no, even then, I wouldn't want to pay $30. I would pay, honestly, I would pay $20 for one of these, maybe. Understanding that it is kind of like a more of a premium item.
yeah.
But again, they charge what they want. Some people will sell it. Some people will buy it, and whatever they can't move, they can just start offering like, oh, 10% off sale.
Yeah. Like,
I love the figures that come with interchangeable hands.
yeah, yeah. I mean, look, let's be honest. Does this Conan look like a game-changing Conan figure?
No.
No. It doesn't even look like Conan from the comic book
It
to
looks
me.
like the animated Conan. You just need that
Yeah.
little phoenix that eats pomegranates.
Now I'm just thinking about the Conan theme song, Conan the Adventurer.
It was a good show.
It was, yeah, it was. Actually, I think you can get that all on Tubi and YouTube, actually.
Yeah, I think so, because I think the rights were bought by Shout, and they put all their stuff on Tubi.
Yeah. But beware, because there's some shit that's being removed. I was trying to watch Ultraman the other day, and they removed a lot of Ultraman from Tubi. But like, if you compare, okay, this Conan, I don't know how we're going on a tangent now about Conan. I guess it's still technically goes in hand with what we're talking about.
Hey, Conan's been around. Conan's been around for decades. There are generations of Conan fans
Yeah.
who have nostalgia for the stories and movies.
Oh, I love Conan, man. Next, shameless little plug here. The next episode of Great Comic Book Covers is going to be all about. I realize that I don't have very many Conan books, and I should probably buy more. But I like to do just random comic book covers of certain lines. But this is probably going to be like my entire Conan collection, which is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. But I mean, yeah, look.
About 20 years ago, I think Dark Horse had the rights to Conan.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had the artist Carrie Nord on the book, I think with Kurt Busiek. Anyways, the art on that was really good.
Yeah, I want to.
He did some great covers on that book.
Yeah. But even now, Titan, what they're doing with Conan, to what I'm hearing,
yeah, because they've got the rights now, right?
And I've picked up every year that I've gone to Free Comic Book Day since it stopped being Free Comic Book Week, right, and went back in 2023 to Comic Book Day. I've been grabbing the issues of Conan by Titan Comics, and they're pretty solid. And the artwork is pretty nice too, to be quite honest. But yeah, so going back to this, like, you've got, like, this is a pre-order, okay, and this is Canadian price. American US price is only like maybe $5-10 cheaper. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's add like an extra 10-15 for the Canadian conversion usually.
And they're saying that it's supposed to be based off of the comic book, and like we said, it doesn't look like that. Does not look like the Marvel Comics Conan.
No,
this looks like you said, Conan the Adventurer, the cartoon, right? So $85 for a modern toy. Let me ask you a question: would you want to pay that, or, I mean, for Pete's sake, look at this Conan figure from McFarlane Toys.
Oh, this one's probably going to be awesome, right?
Look at that, 53. And this is a toy that came out maybe 20 years ago.
The pose on that definitely looks more interesting. But you get that that's kind of a McFarlane standard, where you get really great poses out of the characters for the most part. It's not just like a static figure like you saw in that last one. Like, that one's awesome. Look at that.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And like, you're looking at somebody who's charging $49 US.
Like that looks like you'd see something on like a Frank Frazetta cover or something, just like this
Exactly.
barbarian going wild.
Exactly. And that's what McFarlane was trying to do with his Conan line. He was trying to do different variations of
Hmm.
Conan over the years. I don't think he was trying to do the comics. He was trying to do um, like look at this right here. You know,
Hmm.
like I know they got a little higher price tags, but would you not rather want to spend these prices on the McFarlane Conan figures than what Super Seven is offering you?
Yeah, because the McFarlane stuff, it's almost like little statues. I mean,
Exactly.
there is some posability and interactivity with them. You can put different weapons on their hands, whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's dynamic poses. I think they look better just on average than most figures.
But then please tell me how you've got this. I think that's supposed to be Arnold Schwarzenegger's Conan. I think it definitely is, but I think that's
What
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
it was this if Conan fought the Predator?
You know what I
Because
mean?
I
And then
remember in
this
Predator, he covered himself with the mud and stuff to hide from the heat vision or the heat tracking.
best line ever. You are one ugly motherfucker. Such a great film. But like, I don't know, man. These Super Seven figures. This is a Super Seven figure. This is a Super Seven.
No, not
and
worth
and,
it.
and even they're like more basic standard stuff that they're sending to Walmart and Target because there's zero accessories. $40, bro. This looks like, come on, man. You really want to buy that? Or would you want to buy this?
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt the McFarlane ones just kill it.
And I'm not saying that I'm praising McFarlane Toys either, because McFarlane Toys, let's be honest here, recent days too, yes, McFarlane has their fair share of some toys that are like overpriced on their end. Get me wrong, okay? A lot of their DC multiverse stuff, I made a big mistake. Okay, I love crossover comics and I'll support them, but I'm guessing comic book shops, they price things a little more than I guess your GameStop and your Toys R Us. Because the Joker, I picked him up for 35. When I was at GameStop a couple of weeks ago, I'm gonna have to go back because I did find the Doctor Fate figure over there.
Nice.
Yeah, they were selling that Joker and all the DC figures like $10 cheaper.
That's pretty good.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Um, but don't get me wrong. There's a lot of stuff that McFarlane puts out. Like now he's doing the Kickstarter. So they just ran that Kickstarter recently for the medieval Spawn.
Hmm.
Gosh, the guy's like maybe $500,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
you don't even want to know some of the statues that they're putting out that the Spawn collecting community are going crazy over and buying.
Because they're
Buying
probably
them.
only putting out like 2,000 or something,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
limited print where they know there's greater demand than supply and that people will pay hundreds or thousands of dollars for some of these things.
And don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. The statues are beautiful, and I'm not faulting these people for buying them because they are
Yeah.
beautiful statues. But I can't justify paying like some of the statues that he's putting out are like $700.
I've never been one of those people. Those statues, those replica props and stuff, they've always been around.
Yeah,
It's cool to look at, but no way I'm gonna drop like $300 on a statue.
no, exactly. So yeah, I'm not saying that McFarlane Toys. I'm not praising them. Do I think that McFarlane Toys is the little bit more of the cheaper route if you're looking at comparing Super 7, NECA, and McFarlane? Hands fucking down.
Yeah.
Okay? But let's be honest here. And I know you've seen the toy companies because I know that you pay attention to this stuff. You're putting NECA, let's say NECA puts out a figure and Super 7 puts out a figure, both of the same IP. You personally, which one are you going to go towards?
Um Honestly, I think it would depend. I'd want to see the sculpts on
Exactly.
both and kind of see the characters available. Uh
Exactly.
I don't know. I kind of like the Super 7.
Okay.
But yeah, it depends. I would need to see like I would
Okay.
want to see each one's interpretation of whichever character.
And that's fair. No, that's 100% fair. Let's do comparison here. Okay,
The
let's
the
go
one
Super
the ones
7.
I really do like, and
Mhm.
I'm not sure who puts those out, are the ones that look like the original Eastman and Laird ones, like the
That's
black and
NECA.
white. That's NECA?
That's NECA.
Oh, okay. So then perhaps I prefer NECA. Just
I,
I like the designs on those. I don't have any of them, but I saw them and I thought, wow, that's a really cool idea.
I love them. Like the Kirby I showed you, right? That's NECA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I think I definitely am a NECA fan.
Trying to find. I'm actually just trying to find. And don't get me wrong, NECA is. I'm not saying that NECA either is like the be all end all. That yeah, I'm praising them either. No, because NECA's prices could be fairly high too. You know what I mean? Like, don't get me wrong. But okay, yeah, let me grab the Super Shredder that I own from the Secret of the Ooze. Let me see if I can find. I'm just trying to find because I know that they have Super 7 and I know that they have NECA. You know what? Here is a good comparison. Better yet, instead of the Super Shredder, let's get the Krang Android body from the cartoon, and let's grab Mondo Gecko. Okay,
Great
and you're going
character.
to see the difference in pricing too on top of it. Okay. Okay. So this right here is the Ultimates Mondo Gecko. I don't know why it's not letting me make this. Can I make the screen bigger? Does that show up bigger?
Yeah.
Perfect. So there's your Ultimates Mondo Gecko. Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. Fine. It looks like the Playmates toy from the 80s, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think the head's a little different, but
Hmm.
maybe I am misremembering the sculpt on the head.
Yeah. That's
But
fine.
yeah, no, it looks basically like what I remember. Yeah.
And that's like a 6-inch figure, okay?
Hmm.
Now your price tag on him is $75 Canadian. Okay?
Yeah.
Now this guy's a
So
lot bigger.
that'd be just under 80, I think, with taxes. But then you got
Mhm.
shipping on top of that.
Yeah. And actually, they're pretty good e-collectibles when it comes to shipping, right? So you've got the interchangeable head, you got the skateboard, and then a couple of hands. Okay, $75. Like you said, just a little under 80, if not maybe
I think
80.
90, sorry.
Yeah, there you go. Just a little under 90, whatever your shipping is. Maybe when it's all said and done, shebang is done, you're paying maybe like 100 and something.
Probably about at least 100 when you factor in, yeah, all the shipping and everything.
Now here, this guy
Unless
here,
unless you get a second figure, because up at the top there, I see $149 pre-tax shipping threshold.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, does that mean you have to order at least $149
Yeah,
worth of stuff, or you
exactly.
get free shipping?
It's if you get to $149, you get before taxes, you get free shipping.
Oh, okay.
Basically. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I would always hope so. You spend a couple $100 with these
Yeah.
companies, and then they want to charge you for shipping.
No, that's it. So this guy here, 7-inch, right? That says it right here, 7-inch action figure. Okay, cool. Now this guy here is 4 inches taller. Take a look at this guy.
Okay.
It's the ultimate Krang Android body. Now this is NECA.
Mm-hmm.
The price tag is $10 cheaper. He's about 10 inches tall. Okay. Look at everything he comes with.
What's with the mini
Everything he comes with.
shredder?
Is the mini shredder? I think there was an episode where he was turned into a baby.
Oh, okay. I remember because I used to have and read some of the Archie comics, and there was a plot line where basically Krang implanted himself on the Shredder's body. So he was like he gave himself a body, and the Shredder was kind of like a prisoner.
Oh, they released an action figure of that actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, just recently. But I mean, look at that though. Let's be honest here. You've got the Android body. You've got all the accessories that come with him. You've got
Mm-hmm.
this blanket or whatever. But think about this. You're also getting 2 other toys in here because you're getting the toddler shredder, and you're even getting Krang. That's going to sit right there in the android
Mm-hmm.
body. This is $65 Canadian.
Yeah.
And no, sorry, 9 inches tall, but still, like,
That's 2 inches more. There's
yeah,
more material involved, more
yeah,
plastic.
yeah. So, what's the better deal?
Oh, NECA. 100%. The pricing's better, and just the figures themselves look a little better.
My mission is never to go and rag on Super 7, but I get, like I was trying to say before, I get it. They operate out of Los Angeles or out of California.
So they have higher production costs.
Yeah, because I think everything is produced in California. But even Vanessa was like, but still, I don't care if you're producing American. Technically, shouldn't that make it a little bit cheaper? No, if they're producing in-house.
Or are they actually manufacturing it in California?
Well, they manufactured all over the North America, right?
Oh, okay.
So
I just assumed they were just coming out of Asia.
no. Well, that's what they've always said, that they produce theirs. I don't know how accurate that is, but again, it doesn't justify. This is a close to 10-inch figure, and you're paying 65.
Yeah.
That doesn't justify, man. When I used to buy my Godzilla figures that NECA was releasing, these figures were like from head to tail, 12 inches tall, man. Okay. And I still got all my NECA figures of Godzilla. And man, when I was buying them, they were like $35, $40 price tag. Beautiful price tags. I don't know what happened, but NECA lost the license to Godzilla. And now Super 7 has the license to Godzilla. And we all know what NECA, what Super 7, how much they're charging on their figures.
Yeah. God help you if they try to do like a bigger scale version.
Ugh.
Maybe they do like a 12-inch Godzilla or something.
Well, they haven't gone that high, but I'm trying to find, because like I showed you that Thundercats lair, which
Yeah.
I still love your reaction. Holy shit!
I can't like the sad thing is I know there are people who will easily pay that price for it. But
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like, who is going to put that much money towards that?
Oh, here you go. Here you go. Here you go. This is the fun thing about being a collector now, especially being a Godzilla collector. This is from -1.
How tall are these? They say 8-inch tall, 14-inch long.
Yep.
That's a pretty decent size.
But the
14
NECA
inches
Godzilla
long.
figures were these sizes, basically.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Some of them were 12 inches long, some of them were 14, depending on the Godzilla, right? But they were always about 7.5 to 8 inches. And those things were always under $50. That's why I'm so baffled by this price tag right here.
I don't know. For that price difference, I would expect like a whole new level of sculpting detail and stuff like that. I would want like justify that price difference.
No, that's it. And it's just like, oh, no,
And I'm not
no.
saying this looks bad. This looks great.
No, it does look nice. Then that's the problem with Super 7 is that a lot of their toys, especially the ones that are cartoon style, because I find that their real people ones are not. But the cartoon style ones, yes, they look very nice. It's just I really don't understand the price tags on these. When they were releasing originally the Power Rangers ones, when the comic book shop I used to go to, they're like, hey, there's going to be a Dragon Zord and a Megazord. Do you want to get them? I was like, oh, how much are they? He's like, it's about $95 each. And I'm like, oh, wow, how big are these things? Oh, 7 inches tall. I'm like, that's not worth it, man. If I'm getting a Megazord that's like $95, it better be a big old Megazord, man.
And it better come apart too.
Yeah, yeah. Here you go. Here's another one. Here we're back on Thundercats.
Mm-mm.
Who's spending $625 on Thunder Tank? A lot of people, apparently.
There's a lot of people out there with a lot of money and nothing better to do.
Oh my god! I was scrolling through, dude, and even the layer. Here you go. That's what I was trying to show you. This is what I want to show you. There's the Party Wagon by Super 7.
No. Oh wow, it's on sale.
Yeah.
What a deal.
It's
What a,
no longer 720.
what a steal. It's only $500. You better act quick.
Yet I bought the Playmates reissue for only $30.
Yeah,
That still looks
that's
pretty
silly.
great.
And the Playmates one looks so much better. I mean, to be fair, I haven't really seen this outside of this picture, but I'm very familiar with the Playmates one.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I guarantee I would probably go for that one out of all of them. And not just because of the price.
No, exactly. Let me see if they have the oh, the price went up on the Playmates Party Wagon.
What is
See, I
it
didn't
now?
when I purchased it last year, I didn't pay this price. But again, not a horrendous price. I didn't pay this because I think I got it on sale when I bought it last year. I think it was like $30 or something.
You know, that's
But I mean,
not bad actually.
No, but I mean, look, I know it doesn't come with.
Because they don't mass produce the vehicles like they do the figures.
No, that's it. And I mean, that's the crazy thing is this is the reissue. I'm pretty sure that I don't know if you do, but I'm pretty sure that if you have the original NECA Party Wagon at home, the price tag for that thing is a little higher because that's the original release from the 80s. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to hold on a sec.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think when I was looking at the NECA Party Wagons, I was trying to find the price for that too. I think it was even cheaper than Action Figure 411. Yeah, you see, there you go. This is even cheaper than and I think a lot of people were saying that this one was a lot better. The NECA Turtle Van, average listing price 305. That's like, the sales price for the Super 7 is 500. Lowest found $250, $83. So think about that. You know what I mean?
But yeah, those details, that's kind of what I was talking about before, where it actually says like sold auctions. Because people can list whatever they want, but you got to look at what actually has sold and the auctions completed to see what people are paying.
Yeah. And I think like a company like NECA releasing this, I think, an average 250 to 300 is not horrible. I'm still not going to pay that price, but 250 to 300 is not horrible. But when you're starting to charge over $700, like, come on, man. Those people, like I said, I saw that the Thundercats lair is sold out. We saw it was what, $1,500.
Yeah.
You're not buying that all in one shot, man. And if you are, you must have went right into credit card debt.
Well, what I've noticed, at least on Amazon, is seems like it's getting more popular now that you can use your credit card to pay in installments.
Oh, okay.
So rather than buy like $200 figure off Amazon, you can sign up so that you pay $12 a month for, 10 months or something, whatever it
Yeah.
works out to be.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
mean, like with most payment or installment plans, you do end up actually paying more than you would have if you had just bought it in the first place.
That's
But
true.
it makes it sometimes more affordable because it's a lot easier for somebody to say, "Oh, I'm only paying $20 a month for the next
Yeah.
several months."
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Now I'm trying to find because even now, GameStop, or should I say, GameStop for you guys in the United States is now back to EB Games for us in Canada.
I want to see it go back to Babbage's. It used to be Babbage's because
Throwback.
Charles Babbage, he's like one of the founders of the modern computer or something like that. I think
Mm,
he developed like the electric typewriter, something like that. The store was named after him, and then it turned to EB
yeah,
and anyways, it was Babbage's at the beginning.
man. Even before that, I think when I was a kid in the '90s, there was even another CompuServe or something like that. I
I
think.
remember, yeah, it
Yeah,
was like CompuServe.
yeah. Half computer stuff, half. But they had like a lot of computer games. But that was the earliest exposure we had in our malls to video games being sold. If we wanted video games, we would have to go to Toys R Us to buy them.
Or God help you, Canadian Tire.
Oh, jeez. Jeez. Do you remember grabbing the little Velcro token off of the thing, bringing it to the counter? Even Costco too was doing that.
Yeah.
Those were the days, man. Kids today are never gonna know how exciting it was to earn that money, go to Toys R Us, and if the little coupon was still there, like if the little Coke token was still Velcroed on, the game or the Game Gear was still available. Let's bring that. Let's buy it.
Yeah.
Now they're so mass produced, the games. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
But yeah, like
Well,
GameStop is getting into selling them.
yeah, I mean GameStop, I think they've been doing this stuff for a while. I think that's what they need to
Yeah,
do to survive.
yeah,
Fact is, I mean, just on PC, it's been like digital only for like over 20 years now.
yeah,
It's only recently in the last maybe decade that you're starting to see Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft putting out like digital only titles where there's no physical copy released. But you
yeah.
do have you ever heard of limited run games?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
There's some interesting documentaries on YouTube about the company's mismanagement, and they really screwed over their employees, and it's
For
interesting.
limited run games.
Yeah,
Wow.
but the principle behind it is a great idea, right? Like they find stuff that is either a digital only title, and they'll find a way to give it a physical release,
Yeah,
or they find like older stuff, and I think it's just digital only stuff.
I think so. I know that
Anyways,
they
there's
released.
there's some there's there's like a lot of controversy there involving the guy who started it, and he was like, I think at some point he made himself an employee, and then he used the company to pay for his housing. Like he found a way so that it's like, oh, the company's paying for his housing. And so I don't know all the details. It was really interesting. If I find it, I'll let you know. Maybe I'll like post a community thing
Yeah.
or something sharing
Yeah.
it.
A little dark in here. There we go. Yeah, no, definitely. I know that limited run games, they released the Shredder's Revenge game.
Hmm.
I wanted to get that whole big box set, but it was like, again, really pricey. It came with a couple of figures and stuff, but really pricey. So I was like, nah, I don't know. At least the game that I did get, the actual game, came with stickers, came with that kind of stuff. So that was fun at least.
Oh, and that's another thing. Limited run. There was a scandal from a couple years ago. Apparently, I don't know what game it was, but they released a game, and it was on CDRs, burnable CDs, or I
Okay.
should say DVDs. But it wasn't like a mastered printed disc. It's like they just like wrote the game to a DVD and then put it in a package. Like
Okay.
it apparently it looked cheap. Everybody was pissed off. I don't I don't know all the ins and outs. There's a lot of scandals there apparently.
Oh boy. Yep.
I think they've got a competitor. I don't know what they're called. That I think people are starting to switch over.
Okay. Yeah, so this is what they were selling. Oh, it wasn't too bad, but still, I didn't want to spend that much money just for a video game. Um, but yeah, this is what they were selling basically. It's completely sold out now at this point. But like, look at everything that came with it. You got a CD. You've got like a book here. You got the steel book for the game.
Nice.
Comes with Schrader. Um, if you look at bootleg toys, they've always called him Schrader for some reason. Stickers, a mini arcade, all this.
Pizza. Free
That's what I was
pizza.
gonna say. That's the one thing that when I got my game, it was supposed to be in the basic. I didn't get my fucking coupon for Pizza Hut.
Because it's probably only valid in the US.
Probably. I looked at Vanessa. I was like, "Oh, there's no Pizza Hut coupon." She's like, "You gonna return the game?" I'm like, "No." But I mean, it's pretty good, pretty good value for all that. But me personally, like I already have the Shredder figure, right? I don't need all this extra stuff. So for me, it was like, okay, whatever. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I wasn't gonna pay $200 just to do an unboxing on my channel. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But just
well, it'd
having,
have to be something really special, I think.
oh yeah. If I'm gonna do like a big unboxing on my channel of one of these kind of things, like you said, it's gonna be something very special, something that's very like sentimental to me. That's what the unboxing is gonna be. You know what I mean? Um, just like we're leaning in on can't believe it's already the 100th Boomers Hall
Oh, wow.
episode. Yeah, man, and
Congrats.
thank you. I've been doing Boomers Hall since I started my channel 8 years ago.
Nice.
I don't understand. Well, I don't consume a lot, right? But yeah, I'm thinking about doing a birthday toy hunt, and I'm always on the look for those Kiss figures and the burnt spawn. So thinking about doing. I'm not sure if I'm going to do just a regular birthday hunt and just call it, birthday haul, or if I should actually make my birthday haul the 100th. Because technically, normally my birthday hauls every year, I do that separate from like it. Sometimes it is a Boomers haul, depending on how I feel that year. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe make it into one. Make it a big
Yeah,
thing that everybody's going to want to check out.
could be. Yeah, that could be a good idea. Actually.
Or splitting into two. There's two exciting videos.
Yeah, that's true. Is it starting to rain out here again? Yeah, it's starting to rain out here again. Holy shit! And I realize it's 3 o'clock already, man. You're ready to
Oh,
go
wow.
for another. I guess we'll another 15 minutes. I think we're good right until 3:15. We can get on, move on with our lives. But yeah, I mean, there's other companies too that we didn't touch on, like Mezco, for example.
Hmm.
Mezco putting out these I think what are they called? Soft vinyl. They released these Ninja Turtles figures recently. I'm trying to find them.
Yeah, I don't believe I've seen any Mezco stuff in a while.
No, me neither. But I didn't realize Mezco is expensive, man. Mezco is very expensive, dude.
Yeah,
Like,
but they're not as much as Super 7 though, are they?
um, um, you'd be surprised, man.
Oof.
You'd be very surprised. Is it Mezco? Oh no, it's not Mezco. It's Mondo. Mondo.
That I don't think I've heard of.
That's what I was thinking of. Mondo. There we go. Yeah.
But I mean, it's smart what they're doing. Like all this nostalgia thing, especially when it comes to these figures, because people like us who grew up watching this stuff, we have jobs now and disposable income, and so we can go buy all this stuff. Oh, I never had this was the one I was missing from the set as a kid, or my mom would never buy this for me, or whatever. Now we can go out and get it for ourselves,
Yeah.
and yeah, they realize, hey, there's a market for it.
Yeah. But I mean, Look at the prices on these things. And look what it says. It says soft vinyl figure.
How soft?
Funko Pop, U2s, like that. And the crazy thing is that these are not. You would think that for like the $105, you think, okay, it's probably a really tall figure, a really big figure.
No, they look kind of stumpy.
They are. They are. I think these are like 6-inch
The
figures.
turtles look weird. They kind of look like they're a mesh between like the original Eastman and Laird turtles with maybe the animated.
I think so, yeah.
It's like the body looks like the original stuff, and then the head is like from the cartoon.
These
Because
are
Michelangelo, that whole like wacky party personality, that wasn't present in the first incarnation of the character, was it?
not in the comic books, no. I mean, look, they just come on card backs. They're not big, man.
Mm-hmm.
They're not big, and there's the articulation. You know what the articulation is? You can move it's 5 points. That's what it is. It's 5 points.
Head, legs, shoulders.
Yep. Head, legs, arms. That's it, man. Oh, maybe the hands, so maybe 7 points, but
Right, with the wrists.
But I'm like, when I saw these being announced, oh, that's cool, vinyl figures. I was thinking to myself, like, okay, maybe I'll check these out, or maybe at least get Michelangelo because that's my favorite turtle. I'm thinking to myself, it's Mondo. It's probably going to be like at least $25, $30, which is not bad. But $100, you're like, oh man,
No.
it's a lot, man. And Mondo, you should see what Mondo puts out.
So
Yes.
you're telling me if I just want the core 4, if I just want the turtles, I'm going to be paying with tax and shipping close to $500,
Basically.
right? If they're $100 a
Basically.
pop, then you got to figure taxes, shipping. Yeah, I can see $450, $500. Not worth it. Honestly, I'd pay one, maybe like 125, 130 for a set that has all 4.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to pay that for a single one.
And then my question is this, though, because these are all done by Mondo, but these say exclusive Ray Fillet and Mondo Gecko. Exclusive to what? Like just the shop? Like
maybe just the design is exclusive, the particular sculpt.
That's fair.
The head on the Ray Fillet, it does kind of look like the one that I think was on the original figure. But the original figure definitely didn't have all those little things biting onto the back of them, little fish and.
No, yeah, exactly. Don't you have the Ray Fillet figure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't change color anymore, though.
I've seen better days. But yeah, those are like these little soft vinyl. But here's where it gets a lot crazier. Okay. Like, for example, these are real Ghostbusters. And yes, these things are really nice looking, okay? Oh, I don't know why I stopped sharing. Give me a second here. Like, these things are really, really nice looking, okay? The real Ghostbusters to this day still holds up. And it's one of the greatest, in my opinion, one of the best animated series ever made.
The one on the left was the scariest episode of anything I'd seen for a long time.
I agree with you.
When Egon is afraid, you know it's bad.
Yeah.
And Egon is afraid. And the way they designed the boogeyman, it was just like, as a kid, that was a horrifying creature.
Mm-hmm. But then they brought in Samhain right here, right in the middle, Samhain right there. And then they brought in the Sandman. And it's like, that's the one thing I will say. Like, okay, I don't think I've ever shared that with you, but Ghostbusters, not the rest of them. I do like the two more modern films there, but Ghostbusters, the first one, is one of my favorite movies ever made. And the real Ghostbusters,
it's just a classic movie.
Yeah.
I think objectively it's a good movie.
Yeah, and a lot of people are like, Ghostbusters is overrated. With reason, man. It's with reason that it's overrated. Come on. But Ghostbusters, the real Ghostbusters, this was a groundbreaking cartoon. And I think it took the amazing concept of Ghostbusters and just started to world build and started creating these Ghostbusters, which often gets lumped in as a horror movie. I don't look at it as a horror movie. I look at it more of like a comedy that's kind of like making fun of horror.
Kind of like a supernatural action
Yeah,
comedy.
yeah. But Real Ghostbusters was going into the horror sci-fi
Hmm.
realm, and I think as kids too, this is one of the earliest exposures we've had into horror. You know what I mean? So these are beautiful figures, but then again, look at the price tags on these things.
No way. No way.
You know, if you want Peter and Samhain, you're spending 202. Oh, but if you want Peter by himself with Slimer, so you're spending double the price just to get the 2-pack with Samhain. You know what I
And
mean?
the exclusive accessories.
Exactly. It's the same. Okay, look at that head. That's gnarly though.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want Egon and the ghost? Fine. I think that's the ghost from the opening title, like credits, anyways. 101. But if you want Egon with the boogeyman, double the price.
Because they know it's the villains, it's the monsters that people want.
Mhm. This right here, I will never get into buying. Is their Masters of the Universe line? Like the price
The
tags on
hell
these
is that?
right here.
Scareglow?
You don't remember Scareglow?
I do not think so. Did he look
Scareglow.
different on the show?
Uh, I'm trying to remember. You know what's insane? I haven't watched the old Motu in a long time. Like I've more watched the 2000X one and the ones on Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember Scareglow being on the 80s cartoon. I could very well be wrong. But Scareglow was one of those obscure characters that was just basically he was translucent. And like I said, I don't know if he was just a toy and then he was incorporated into the show later on.
Yeah, because there was a time there, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles had the Mutagen Man,
Yeah.
where it's like a see-through body, and you can see like his heart and his guts inside or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that was probably just a trend at the time.
Yep.
Translucent figures, so you can see what's inside them.
But Motu did a lot of that though. They had a lot of characters that were created specifically for toys,
Hmm.
and then they showed up in like comic books or I
Oh,
think
just like Transformers,
yeah, exactly.
right? The classic movie from what was it, 86, the original Transformers
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I mean, the main focus of that, and they've admitted since, was to kill off most of their characters so they can bring in a second wave of toys.
Hey, we got RC, which is cool.
Yeah,
I love RC.
Rodimus Prime.
Yeah, Rodimus Prime was cool too. Don't get me wrong.
They brought in, I think, some of the Quintessence as figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a marketing move.
Yeah.
Of course, it led to like a great movie where Optimus Prime is sacrificing himself against Megatron, and the whole evolution to Galvatron. And even though it was apparently just to promote some new figures they had coming out, they did a good job. I was really entertained. I didn't see it as a commercial back then, and
It was nice to
I
see.
still don't.
No, exactly. It was nice to see Starscream finally get his comeuppance, and then 2 seconds later get killed. Well, that's neither here nor there.
I mean,
but at least they didn't kill off Soundwave.
And I bet nobody expected a Weird Al song on the soundtrack.
Right. Weird. Okay. It's one of those movies where it's just so batshit insane. Where you have a Weird Al song, you have a Monty Python member doing a voice of a character.
Yeah.
And you have one of the Brat Pack doing a voice of one of the Transformers too. That's just how much more 80s can you get?
And Robert Stack from Unsolved Mysteries as Ultra Magnus.
And don't forget, man, Leonard Nimoy as Galvatron. Mm-hmm. I think the voice acting though in that movie, like even Orson Welles as Unicron.
Yeah,
that whole movie. There's a reason why I say it's probably the greatest animated movie ever made, in my opinion.
It's up there for sure. Oh. I don't know if I have like a favorite, but it would be on a top 10 list.
Yeah, like look at this Scareglow that comes with his
that looks awesome.
Mirror. Yeah, it looks awesome, but it's a
until I saw the price
tag.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks awesome, and then I saw the price.
Like you got Pixel Dan, who last week put up a video. Was like, "What am I gonna do with this $700 Mondo Scare Glow that I bought?" I was like, "Stop flexing how much money you spent, bro."
Yeah.
So yeah, like again, begs the question, you know, are you're a DC guy? Oh, we both like DC, but posters. They don't do figures. I thought they did figures. Okay, just posters. Or X-Men. That's one of their biggest bread and butter. X-Men. Really nice figures
225.
for Sabretooth.
I love that Sabretooth. I love the costume. I like the way this figure looks, but 225.
I know. These are the X-Men that we grew up with, right, from the animated series, and they look amazing. Like, look at this Magneto. Look at this Magneto, man. Like, that looks awesome.
I love the amount of hand variation he has.
Yeah.
There were like,
Yeah.
what is that? Four different types of hand poses.
Yeah. Looks like it, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, even.
Well, you got to figure there's on opposite hands, right? Like one left and one right. Although 7, that's a weird number, so who knows?
But then, like the 4 different heads. So okay,
what's that head? What's that head up at the top?
That's
with the
Morph.
Black hair.
That's
I was
Morph.
gonna say why is.
I think because maybe Morph may have morphed into Magneto at one point, or what? Because I know Morph became like in the first episode when he dies, he comes back later on Morph and he's like corrupted.
Yeah.
So I think he turns into Magneto to entice the X-Men or something. But yeah, I mean, I get it. It's 1/6 scale, but I mean, 1/6 scale is what, like a doll? But still, 225. I find it's a hefty price tag, man. You know, like Gambit is my favorite X-Men of all time.
Did you see Deadpool Wolverine yet?
Not yet.
Because I mean, it's not really spoiler. It's been out for a while. Gambit is finally in it.
Yeah, I heard, and I really can't wait to see that.
Because Channing Tatum has been wanting to play Gambit since like Wolverine Origins back in like 2008. Because apparently his dad is Cajun. His dad is from Louisiana, so he thought it'd be a really cool role. And yeah, he finally gets to play the character, even if it's only for like 15 minutes before he's erased from reality altogether.
Nice. No, I want to check it. You know what it is too, though. I got a little burnt out with some of the superhero movies, to be quite honest with you. And when everyone was hyped up and talking about Wolverine Deadpool, I wanted to see it, but I was like, yes, it's everywhere right now, so I'm going to wait for the hype to die down. And I think now I waited a little too long.
No, I think it'll still hold up. I think it's just as good.
Okay. But I mean, here's the thing. Here's what I'll tell you, though. $215 is a disgusting price. 1/6 scale, you're talking about maybe, is that a 12-inch tall figure, maybe? Hasbro releases the Marvel Legends, which are like 6 inches, 7 inches, but they're selling those figures for like $40. And that's Hasbro. Hasbro's directed to kids on top of it. You know what I mean?
I'm just seeing they got a Mystique Gambit head there.
Yeah.
The one thing I think they should have put on, and maybe I'm the only one that liked that plot line, at some point Gambit became Apocalypse's new death horseman.
Yeah.
And he had like black skin, and I would have liked to see a variant head and hands with that.
That would have been cool.
But I love the look of the character. Like, they've done the costume perfect. It looks like this in the movie too, in the Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
Like, they really, again, even if it's only for a few minutes, they did manage to make a costume accurate Gambit for the movie.
Nice. Did you watch X-Men 97, by the way?
Part of it.
Yeah. I stopped watching it at a certain part, and if anybody who's watching the stream has not watched X-Men 97 and wants to watch it, I stopped at a part that has to do with Gambit, and I have not come back to it because I found it very tough.
Is it the Mutant Massacre?
Yeah, and Genosha? Was it Genosha? Yeah.
No.
Is it? I'm trying to think. Wait. Yeah, it was the Mutant Massacre. Exactly. I'm not gonna
It was in the sewers. Okay, I don't know on the
no.
show. In the books, like you had the Morlocks, the mutants that couldn't pass as
Oh no
human.
no no! It wasn't that. It wasn't that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what X-Men '97 is adapting exactly, or if there are some are like adapting specific plot lines or original material. I'm not quite
I
sure.
I I thought they were just going to be sort of continuing with the animated series, but adapting more recent plot lines. But like I said, I haven't seen enough of it to know for sure.
Yeah, and if that's the case, if they're doing recent plot lines, I haven't read an X-Men comic book since like the 2000, like the early 2000s.
With a few exceptions, you did not miss much.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Uh,
Again,
I
Jonathan
would
Hickman.
I would say the best thing to read X-Men from maybe the last decade or two is Uncanny X-Force by Rick Remender.
Okay. Okay.
Or okay, so there was an X-Force book that had led by Wolverine. It had like Domino. It had Warpath, the guy who was on the original Uncanny X-Men,
Mhm.
and a couple other killers. And it was basically the X-Men's Black Ops team.
Okay. Cool.
Like,
Yeah.
there's some people the X-Men will beat up and the guys will get away, and then Wolverine and his crew will track them down and kill them. That went pretty well. They did a sequel series called Uncanny X-Force, and that one is just amazing. They brought
Okay.
in Psylocke. So it
Okay.
was Wolverine, Psylocke, Deadpool. Um, what was that guy's name? Created by Grant Morrison. It's like Phantom X,
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Weapon 13,
Yeah. Yeah.
and at some point they do, I think through a time travel thing, they bring in the Age of Apocalypse Nightcrawler
Oh,
for a
nice.
minute.
Nice.
Um, it's a really good story. It's basically like just a one and done type thing. I don't remember how many issues there are, maybe like 30 issues or something, but like
Okay.
there's a proper opening and a proper conclusion to the series. It's not
Okay.
like, oh, follow their adventures in another book.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely check that out. But yeah, I stopped. It was a massacre. That's what happened. It was a massacre. I'm not gonna say what happened, but all I'll say is that Gambit's my favorite X-Men. So I was turned off from X-Men '97, and I had a hard time coming back to it. So
Well, because in the comics they had those the Morlocks,
yeah.
the mutants that couldn't pass as humans, so they lived in the subway system under New York. And at some point, Sabretooth and some other evil mutants working for Mr. Sinister went down there and basically slaughtered them all, save for a handful,
Yeah.
because they weren't genetically pure or whatever. Mr. Sinister is all about genetic engineering.
Hmm.
And then more than a decade later, the big reveal, Uncanny X-Men number 350 with the special holofoil cover. We found out at the time Gambit was working with Mr. Sinister, and he actually led Sabretooth and the other mutants down there, which led to the massacre. He
Yeah.
didn't participate, but if it weren't for him, it wouldn't have happened because they
Yeah.
didn't know where they were hiding. And the reason he did that is because Gambit was actually like an out of control Omega level mutant. He went and made a deal with Sinister to amp his power levels down
Okay.
because
Yeah.
he could not, like, he could like blow up anything he touches. It was like, so yeah, he had Mr. Sinister damper his powers so that he could actually kind of live a normal life. And in
So
exchange, he had to do that thing.
so in a sense, it kind of has to do with Mr. Sinister, but it has to do with somebody else at the same time.
Okay.
But it's not Gambit that leads the massacre. So
Oh, that's good. Because yeah, that was disappointing that you're like, everybody
yeah.
loves Gambit, and to find out like, oh, he's responsible for one of the worst events in the X-Men books.
I know, right? Yeah. So yeah, before we wrap up, there you go. Nightcrawler. 1/6 scale, but like how much taller, like how can he be on par with Gambit and Cyclops and all them? $245.
I like they gave him the swords.
Yeah.
I like that there's the little Banff clouds or whatever.
And Nightcrawler is forever going to be one of the coolest X-Men ever.
Mm-hmm. It's a
You
great
know?
design.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hearing that the actor who played him in X2 X-Men United is going to be back for Avengers Doomsday.
Okay. It's
So,
Alan Cumming, I think.
yeah. I'm not sure how that's going to work. But, yep, so... Oh, it's not even... You know what? It's not even... This is X-Men 97 Nightcrawler on top of it. Okay, okay. X-Men animated series. Like, what? Did I miss something? Oh, yeah, there's X-Men 97 Wolverine. So, okay. All right. But yeah. Oh, of course they did that.
They're lying in bed looking at the picture of Jean. You had to have that.
That's
Okay,
amazing.
$200. I want this. I'm gonna see if I can find it cheap on. It's just look the photo of Scott and Jean, and he's like Jean.
It's amazing.
Well, hold on, look at the hands. Yeah, they do have one that looks like he's like. Also, why is there a chicken leg there?
I don't know, man.
Was he eating that when Morph was like mocking the senator on TV or something?
Oh, I think so.
Oh, there's a picture. Scroll down. There's a shot. Beside that, he's eating the chicken.
Where's the chicken? Wait. Oh,
It's the fourth row down. Oh, he's cutting it too.
You know what? I don't care how much we looked at the Mondo stuff today. It was like, that's expensive. This is the best, man. I don't care.
Go back down. I want to see that. The one where he's looking at the photo. In that top row there.
The fucking sad face, man. That's amazing, dude.
They knew what they were doing with this.
Yo. They're like, we're gonna give you a Wolverine figure, but you're also gonna be able to post it in bed and look at the photo. There's Morph. Oh man, from the first episode, I go where I want to go. Oh man. And the photo is removable.
So you can totally tear and crop Scott out of the picture.
Oh good. God, I think that's a great way to end the live stream today, man.
Hold on. It says a glossy photo of Cyclops and Jean Grey, which can be swapped out with a photo of your choosing as well, and of course, a turkey leg.
Oh my gosh.
Of course.
Nestle Wolverine on the shelf next to your bed today. That's okay. Can we say that this is probably the best modern figure we've ever looked at?
Yeah.
That's incredible. And I honestly, if you don't want to take this guy out of the packaging, because I'm assuming all the accessories are underneath the bed, it just looks awesome like that too.
I would probably leave it like that.
Thank you, Mondo, for making me
unless
cry
they
off.
potentially have a sadder looking face that you could put on him.
I don't know. Let's see. No,
that is the sad one.
That's the.
Oh, and it's a Comic-Con exclusive. Screw that.
Okay. So for $200 then as an SDCC exclusive, again, still not validated on the price, but I can understand. And it's like the cheapest of all the Mondo X-Men figures, man. That's amazing. That's quite amazing. Well, we laughed at the beginning at Buckaroo Banzai. We complained like bitter old men. And then we ended up laughing again at the end at Wolverine. So I think it's a fun way to end our Victoria Day.
Yeah, it's a good place.
Plans. What are you thinking? What are you thinking for the next live stream? You want to go live in I guess in another 2 or 3 weeks from now?
Yeah, unless maybe something major pops up that we feel we want to address before then. But yeah.
Cool. What are you thinking for next live stream? Or if you want to discuss that later on, we don't have to.
We'll figure that out after.
Awesome. All right. Well, this is again a lot of fun. I keep saying it. I love doing the videos on my channel. I know you love doing the videos on your channel as well. But I think this is the kind of fun thing for you and I to
Hmm.
have that reinvention on our channel and have more fun with our channels than just the regular videos we upload. So
Yeah, and then a little more casual presentation. Doesn't have to be
yeah,
all like formal with editing and stuff. It just
exactly. Talk about whatever we want to talk about, and if you want to join the conversation, you're always free to join the conversation. Or
yeah,
if you
of
guys are
course,
watching this after we went live,
it's all good.
comment as well. Alrighty, Spoonie, have a great Victoria Day weekend, man.
Yeah, you too,
Kidding.
and
So
everybody else out there who's Canadian and celebrating.
yeah. All right. Well, that on that end, I got a couple of videos coming out next week on my end. I'm gonna have some cool stuff for Memorial Day. I got a actually finally reviewed the Gwenpool by Hasbro, Marvel Legends, and I got a Ultraman unboxing coming out. You got anything coming up soon, Spoonie? Anything fun?
Yeah, I had got some books. I don't know if you're familiar with the term like double dipping when it comes to like comics and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It's basically when you buy a second copy
yeah,
of like a story you already have. The most common example would be like you get the monthly singles and you're like, wow, this story is awesome. I'm gonna buy the hardcover when it comes out.
yeah, yeah.
So I'm gonna do a video where this isn't necessarily true for everybody, but I had a situation where it was cheaper for me to double dip and
Oh,
rebuy part of a story than to um, buy the next volume. I'll explain more in the video.
yeah. Okay. Well, I am looking forward to that, and this too. I'm looking forward to doing this. I'm gonna do a little nice little mystery unboxing of the Hero Clicks indie. What are these called? Indie Hero Clicks.
Nice.
Got some like Hellboy,
Is that
Witchblade,
Judge
Judge
Dredd?
Dredd. Yep.
Nice.
Got like Abby Chase on the side too. It's not like I think it's like Image, Cross Gen, Dark
Oh,
Horse,
that's cool.
2000 AD, all that kind of.
Wasn't CrossGen bought by Marvel?
I think so. I think so. Cross Gen hasn't put out comics in a long time, so. And I know people aren't really the biggest fans of them, but I got so many of them, so we'll probably do some card pack openings.
Nice.
You see these, man? Check this out. I'm really excited to do this, man. Goosebumps.
Goosebumps.
Yeah. And I got these cards here that come with like power coins. So I can't wait to do that, man. Power Rangers.
Nice. Looks like the OG series.
Yeah. Got some Spawn from the movie. What else? Street Fighter, the movie.
Oof.
Right?
Not
Then
terrible, but not great.
better than Mortal Kombat. That's
I'll
what I
agree
will
with
say.
that.
I'll say it's better than Mortal Kombat for sure.
I'll agree with that.
Hey, I once watched the Legend of Chun Li movie. I don't know if I told you about that. I literally said to somebody, I was like, it definitely can't be as bad as the Jean Claude Van Damme movie was. After watching that movie, we're like, well, that was definitely worse than the Jean Claude Van Damme movie.
Well, when your biggest star and recognizable face is that girl from Smallville,
Mm-hmm.
no disrespect to her, but it's like they should have gotten some more names on there, some more faces in that film, draw attention to it. It
Mm-hmm.
looked like it was, and I think it was direct to DVD, wasn't it?
I think so. I think so. It was a thing that, like those kind of movies back in the 2007, 2008, 2009, they were all trying to make them the video game adaptations more gritty and realistic. And
Yeah.
Street Fighter is not one of those things. Street Fighter has to be campy. I'm
Yep.
sorry. Even the Mortal Kombat movie that they did in was it like 4 years ago now?
Something like that. Yeah.
It's the Mortal Kombat movie we've been all wanting. That's the crazy thing, but I didn't like it. And I don't know if it's because when we're playing the video games, the fatalities are like, that's disgusting, but we know it's a video game, right? But then seeing those fatalities brought onto the big screen, I don't know. For me, it was like, that's a little excessive, man. Like, it's like watching
Well,
the movies, you know?
I don't know if you've seen the fatalities in the recent Mortal Kombat games, the
No.
last couple, last two or three. They get insane. And what's
Oh,
great is they've been bringing in licensed characters. So I've been a little
oh,
Mortal
yeah.
Kombat 11 lately. That was the last one, not the most recent.
Oh no, I do
And
have that actually. Yeah,
you can get Spawn, Arnold
yeah,
as the Terminator 800,
yeah.
RoboCop, and I think
Rambo,
Rambo.
Rambo,
Rambo
Rambo's
as
awesome.
playable
I'm not gonna lie.
characters. And some of those fatalities are just insane. And
Hmm.
then I knew the more recent Mortal Kombat has Homelander
Oh
from
yeah,
Invincible. Or
yeah.
no, sorry, that's it does
The
have
boys.
Omni-Man from Invincible, but it also has Homelander from The
Oh,
Boys.
they're both in it.
Yeah, it has
Jeez,
the
okay.
John Cena version of Pacemaker, and I forget who the other licensed character is. And then just bringing back a bunch of older Mortal Kombat characters.
Where was Conan the Barbarian? Was he in Injustice 2 or is that the new
Oh, he might
Mortal
be no,
Kombat?
he might be in this new one. I
Okay,
think he's in this new one.
okay.
Yeah, because I
Is it?
remember there was a version of Arnold in the last one, and then a different
Yeah.
Arnold character in this one. So I think this is Conan.
Because I think in Injustice 2, didn't they have?
Oh, and sorry, I keep interrupting. In the new
No.
one, they have the Scream killer, Ghostface.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you
huh?
should look up the fatalities for the Ghostface. It's pretty vicious. Because I
I
don't
believe
know if
you.
you know how in the movies there's always more than one killer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So it's like the fatality starts and he
Oh,
starts stabbing the guy, and another one comes out of nowhere and they're just slicing him up, and
oh
it
wow,
it gets pretty brutal. The fatalities over the last few games are some of them are nuts.
that's insane. I still want to play Injustice 2 because they got Hellboy and they got the Turtles in there.
Hmm.
But I feel like they should make an official because there isn't an unofficial one called Terrordrome. They should make an official fighting game that has all those horror movie characters. I think that would be so much fun, man. Because I know that Leatherface has popped up in Mortal Kombat. Same thing with Freddy,
Yeah,
Jason, the Xenomorph, and the
Predator.
Yautja. And now you're saying Ghostface, the Scream killer, is in Mortal Kombat. But don't how cool would that be though? Just to see a whole all-out official licensed game pitting all these characters together. I guess they can't make it official because it's all
Well,
different
that's kind of what
companies,
that
right?
Dead by Daylight game is. But I hate that.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
I hate that gameplay, asymmetrical. One person is the killer, five other people, or I think in Friday the 13th, it's eight other people
Yeah.
are trying to escape. And so it's either you got to find gasoline to power the generators to open the gates, or in Friday the 13th, you got to find the keys to the car or to the boat so you can escape.
Yeah.
Um, and I know Dead by Daylight, they've had so many media tie-ins. A lot of them have been delisted due to property rights,
Yeah.
but they've had installments based off like Silent Hill, Stranger
Mm.
Things, Aliens, Nightmare on Elm Street. I think they did it. No, Call of Duty did a Terrifier tie-in,
Oh wow.
but
I
so
think
many.
if you put
There,
anybody against Art the Clown, he's just gonna win automatically.
well, I think it was just Art the Clown skin that you can use while you're playing Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
You don't actually get to play as him.
Uh,
No, Dead by Daylight. It's a huge game, but it's also the type of game where there's people hooked and they play like 24/7. So if you just hope to get into a random match, you're just gonna get trashed by these low lifers.
yeah, yeah. I haven't spoken to him in a while, but I remember Calazius. He streams on Twitch, and that's what he plays is Dead by Daylight.
I want to get into it, but it's been around forever that
Yeah,
everybody who plays the game regularly is just too good at it.
yeah, exactly. But definitely going to talk more horror in the future on our live streams. So I think that's something that you and I are both passionate about to our horror movies. So
Hmm.
definitely gonna talk about that. Alrighty, I think we went a little too good live stream today. Good live stream.
Yeah, I hope people enjoy watching it.
Yeah. Once was it James and Mike's Mondays? They once used to end their video saying many more Mondays, many more games. I think we could say many more weekends, many more live streams.
For sure.
Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this live stream. We both appreciate it, and move on with your lives. Go do something productive.
Go outside, touch grass.
Exactly. All right. Later, guys.
See ya.